Hey, good evening, everybody. Here we are, 7:15, and it's Wednesday night again with Lynn Rene MacDonald. I think it's, what is it, April 26, 2023. All right, we're here for Live Talk Forum here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It is a live internet show as well as with a live studio audience here at the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We are a love, energy, healing, and teaching center. We teach love, and we teach people the tools and everything they need to live their greatest life in both Saturn's Earth world and all that is God, that is love. All right, so this is what we do. This show is on donation. I see people coming on up here. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming. So glad to see you all. Thank you, and thank you everybody who donates however you do, for sharing what we do. It's going to be another great show tonight. Lots of fun times that we're going to have. As always, it's not just about learning metaphysical and answers and understanding all that is God, that is love. It's about answers to our personal lives, which is all part of this. So anything and everything you can ask, whether it's about your health, your pet's health, your mother's health, who crossed over, it's about medium work, it's about understanding everything metaphysical that is love or God or all that is of highest knowing of universe and all that is, okay? And know this, that it is love, that is this, that is all the power, and this is what we do and teach here. Okay, so tonight I'm here with my faithful assistants. Studio audience is kind of quiet tonight, not anybody in here yet. Sometimes they stroll in a little late, but tonight I'm here with Jennifer and Rachel, my faithful assistants as always. I see you guys coming on, so thanks for coming. Super, super glad you're here. And what we're doing also is we're building a community, all right? We also work with people, so if you need food, you need any assistance in these times, foods, blankets, toys, financial assistance, let us know and we will do our best to help you out. Contact our shop and center it's the Institute for Christ Consciousness, right? A higher vibrational product and gift shop, and that's the Copper Dragon. And Institute is Love, Energy, Healing, and Teaching Center for people and pets. So we help people from love, but we help people in earth world ways as well. So if you know anybody who needs any help or assistance, just give them our number. It is 559-8680-757. And where there is love or God, there's always a way, okay? So this said, Rachel, who's on tonight? We're going to find out who's on tonight for the show.
So far we have Stephanie Bart, we have Andrea.
Hey, Stephanie, Andrea, hi.
We have Susie Lynn, we have Sophia.
Hey, Susie.
And we have Candy.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. And Candy, cool. And Sophia, thanks for coming, Sophia. As many of you know, we've been under the weather, and my daughter Sophia is really going through it right now. We're all going through it with poisons and toxins, and in the future, we're going to teach massive amounts about all of this, and we are right on the verge of going into these spaces, and then instantly God or universe or love brings us the next thing that we need to talk about. So these things are coming, but right now Sophia can't join us in the live studio audience due to concerns about the back wall here in one of our spaces. Again, a mold toxin kind of issue, and it's not something you want to fuck around with. And we all, that's the thing about Earth World. Sometimes we all learn the hard way. So my Sophia is in a different space tonight, watching the show live here. So thanks, Sophia, for coming, just for her own best protection and her own best health, because in the future, we're going to talk about all these toxins and the truth about the God's honest truth about what's making us sick in humanity. Because the truth is, we are all self-healing. So if you have cystic fibrosis, or you have, diabetes, any kind of autoimmune cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, mixed connective tissue disorder, right? All of these things, every kind of symptom that you got is because you've been poisoned. Yeah, and we're going to get into everything about it in the future. I'm kind of debating yet because we got a wild summer coming, a really wild summer, and it's going to be so much fun. However, it's going to be a lot of work, and I'm not sure what dates the show is going to be on, but I'm giving you all a heads up because the show, my intention is to keep on doing the show, but we're also going to be live doing a variation of what we do via entertainment at the oceanfront. You see, we have to be entertaining or no one's going to listen to us. However, not at the expense of what is the God's honest truth. Where there is God or love, there is a way, and it's about getting us out to the people. So this year we will be live on the oceanfront doing a variation of what we do here. It'll be a little more theatrical because that's what's going to be part of the grand design guided by higher knowing. And this will be for the summertime this year, just like kind of like we did last year. And we will also be offering other services up there, such as face painting, because these are all part of the businesses that we have. When you are a high-end spiritual being, more often than not, and this is the way of the new world, you are an entrepreneur, so you will have many businesses. Many of you don't know that I'm an artist. We do face painting, and I have people who work with me. I do pet portraits, I do people portraits, I do murals, right? A lot of people don't know that I went to school in New York City. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts from the School of Visual Arts and major in illustration in New York City. A lot of people don't know these things. I had an art business because art is where you start with enlightenment. Pretty cool, because art is what? Creation, right? So we have these businesses, and, along with all the other things we do here at our shopping center, we do parties, and now we're moving into doing live shows. Why would that be? So we can get out there what we do to the people, and if the people love us, and we're fun, and we teach love, and we teach code of ethics, and we teach all these amazing things while assisting the people, just like we do here out in the grand public, guess what happens? They love us. They want to be like us instead of the Kardashians and instead of the darkness, and they see that they too can have great things from love by doing the right thing from love. And this is all part of the grand plan of love and God. So we're going to basically be doing our usual psychic Q&A, all right? But this is what's coming for the summertime, so we're going to be booked at the oceanfront a lot this year, and just like last year. And this is on multiple levels for multiple reasons, guided by higher knowing and all that is God. So I'm super excited. So you guys can actually come see me live at the show. We got a lot of cool stuff planned, and just like guided by higher knowing, as always, we don't want to reveal all of our cards ever, because remember, loose lips sink ships, and there's a lot of toxic out there that might want to try to stop any good things that are out there, like what we want to do, right? So this is the whole idea of what's behind this. This is next phase. This is new world, what I'm talking about here. This is what's coming in the new world. In other words, we all have new destinies. I'm not leaving any of this at this time. I'm being guided by God to expand. And that's what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs is the new world. So it's going to be about working for yourself, right? And having multiple businesses, however way you do it, okay? This is what universe has guided me to tell you for the new world. And whatever dreams you have, and you will be expanding what you do and changing what you do. Some of us will be leaving the old behind, right? It all depends, who knows, anything and everything guided by highest knowing of love can happen in these times, because it's such radical times. But you didn't build all these things to throw them in the garbage. So what basically right now at this point, universe tells me we are expanding, and where we go from here, I'll keep you informed and I'll let you know. But this is all part of the grand plan of God. It's going to be really cool. So if any of these are coming down for the summertime, you want to come see our live show at the oceanfront, we got it going on. All right. So it's going to be exciting. We also plan on doing videos, and we'll see how it goes, because we're still working on figuring it out. But it's exciting times. But also know this: what's happening here with me is happening here across the board in everything that is God, that is love, in the collective. Everybody is starting new beginnings, new lives, right? A really great example to bring to the forefront tonight, before we even start our topics about what we're going to talk about, right, is Tucker Carlson, right? What happened? Well, apparently there's some kind of disagreement there between Tucker Carlson and is it Fox News?
Yeah.
Right, and Fox News, and now Tucker Carlson doesn't work for Fox News, and people may think that I'm a Republican and I'm all of this shit, but that's not really what's going on here. I'm here to tell you the truth of what's going on behind the scenes in the collective. I thought I'd take a few minutes of this, because a lot of people don't understand it, and they don't know what's going on. But Tucker Carlson, while a lot of people think, oh, well, he's getting screwed by Fox News, or this is Tucker Carlson, man. He has built a huge following, all right? This is not a guy, if you've ever seen his show, who's going to fold easily. All right. So it's going to be interesting to see where Tucker Carlson goes in quite a show, right? But this also, just like Tucker Carlson and you and me and everybody, we're all moving to our new destinies, our new dreams, our new world, our new careers, or destinies to change the world, so to speak, right? Our new paths, our new life paths here to change the world. And Tucker Carlson, too, is not immune to this, because he's Tucker Carlson or whoever it is. So this is coming. This is in the energy of this new world. I told you these changes are happening, all right? All the transits are bringing in this energy so that we will go on our new life paths. And it seems like we've been like stuck in the mud, like a wheel that can't turn, and it's been pretty fucking frustrating. And we've had to catch up and deal with lots and lots of stuff as the new influxes of energies comes in with the transits and all that is God, that is love. And in the astrology, All of this stuff comes in because it's preparing us. It's making these changes happen whether we're consciously aware of it or not. These are the things that are going on out here. So the same thing is happening to Tucker Carlson. So he's going to have a new beginning for him, and it's going to be great. And great meaning interesting to see what he does. But in the meantime, the question now too for all of us, which God has guided me to say, because Jennifer sat on the couch with me last night, and it was like 10:30 at night, and we were sitting in the shop because sometimes we're here really late. And we were talking, and she said to me, "Why, Lynn?" She said, why did this happen? Like, what's going on with Tucker Carlson and Fox and Dominion? Because there's a big lawsuit there, right? If you know Dominion, if you follow anything or know, you don't have to follow it heavy to know what the hell is going on, and you feel it in your heart. Basically, Dominion was the voting machines that were supposedly, quote unquote, corrupt, as you guys all know, from the last election, based on what you believe. Okay. And you all know what the truth is in your heart. All right. And so this is how they got basically the government that's in here. All right. And so Tucker Carlson is part of his exiting, whether anybody says it or not. The truth of God is that his exiting from Fox News and their dilemmas has everything to do with this, the Dominion voting machines, because the next election is right around the corner. So while you're focusing on Tucker, and we're all focusing on Tucker Carlson to see what he's going to do next, right? Nobody's paying attention to what the real demons are behind this, because they're going to try to use all these voting systems and say that everything's all better now and all the bullshit, and that the system is great and nothing's corrupt and all this garbage, right? That it's Republican and Democrat and the government is fine. And you know as well as I know that it is not fine. It is not even close to that. This government is gone. It has been destroyed. It is gone. And what people are holding on to is their old world beliefs in these times of what once was, or what their ideas of once was. But they're still going to try to fool you. They, meaning this darkness, right? The CCP, the world banking system, the new world order. It's all the same fucking thing. They've secretly gone all over and planned this for years, but behind the scenes to take over everything, pay off everybody, make deals with the devil, all through everything that is. That's why we're here. We're here to stop this shit, right? But this is all the story behind what's happening here too with Tucker Carlson. Because if you're looking at him and you're looking at Dominion and you're looking at Fox News and this big lawsuit thing, and while you're paying attention to this, right? Next thing you know, here comes the election, and nobody's paying attention to that, right? Because the truth is, they're going to try to slide this right underneath you where you don't even see it, because that's how darkness works. This is all part of all the grand plan, and it's in layers, all of this. Layers of God and universe and darkness. As we play a master chess game here, you're going to see the truth unfold, because they're going to try to do the same fucking shit they did in the last election to get their guy in, whether it's Joe Biden or however they do it. But it's going to be interesting times. But know this. They're trying to get you to convert and stay the same. What?
Steve just added that BlackRock owns Fox and Dominion, so they basically sued themselves. And he said all the world's a stage.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Did everybody hear that? Rachel said, what'd you say, Rachel, if you could speak it up one more time?
Yeah, Steve said that BlackRock owns Fox and Dominion, so it basically sued itself. And he said all the world is a stage. Yeah.
So thanks, Steve Giltz, for your input here, because it goes right in alignment with everything God is telling me. Because this is what Jennifer and me were talking about on the couch. I was like, it couldn't be more obvious. The election is almost right here. They're going to try to fool everybody again. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. So know this, right? And it's going to be neat to see what Tucker Carlson does. I posted some stuff that I liked that he did. And even though, this is his journey, just like Vladimir Putin, just like Donald Trump, just like all these controversial figures in our lives, like Joe Biden even, right? The government that we have right now, just like Steve said, the whole world's a stage. There are truths in everything, and our job is to find out what's really going on here. Just like the Bud Light shit that I think Andrew asked about last week, right? All this stuff is designed in some way, shape, or form to bury what's really going on here behind the scenes. All right. So there's so much more going on here, but I wanted to share this stuff with you because it relates to all of us, and the fact that Tucker Carlson's going on his new life journey, right? And he's a great example because he's on the world stage pretty big. All right. And all of us are going in this direction of our new lives, our new dreams, our new destinies to change this world. And many of us, as we grow into our unique higher spaces of enlightenment and on our paths and on our journeys, we are going to discover, who we really are, our new entrepreneur stuff and things that we want to do, and our mission here to change the world. And as each event unfolds in the collective, it's going to trigger things in us. This is all the grand plan and everything that is God, right? Like when the World Trade Center chaos happened and what was that, 9/11, all of that stuff happened. All right, all part of the grand design was that was supposed to, while everyone says, well, this is fake and that's fake and this isn't real and that's not real. Well, there's truth in everything. And the idea of that is through great suffering and incidences and events like this, planned, not planned, whatever you believe, doesn't even matter. This is part of the grand plan of God to put the energy where it needs to be. When that happened, if you recall, it didn't matter what you believe. People were more in their hearts, right? Yeah. It made Americans come together. But at the same time, there was a lot of other stuff that was toxic in that. But that's what I call like a tweaking event, or an event that is the catalyst for great change in what we do in our personal lives. All right. So by that, we'll feel those things in here. We'll know what to do out here. It will shift the energy in each and every one of us on a soul level, as a world collective, as with new leaders, new ways, governments collapsing, wars, all kinds of crazy stuff like we have already seen, poisonings and all of the stuff that's going on here, okay? So I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Tucker Carlson and the Fox News stuff and tell you a little bit of the truth about what God tells me is really going on. And I'm sure most of you know. And if you do the research, you will find all the answers somewhere on the internet. Ask and you shall receive. Ask God for the God's honest truth about this, because this is their plan. If they can snow you one more time, you bet they're gonna. You bet, because then it's easier for them, right? And it's hard for people who are like 55 and up, and people also who are young people who have lived all their lives like my kids, who are 20, 18, right? They've lived their life in a certain way with Capricorn principles and code of ethics. And now all that shit has gone out the door. And now what we hear is, all this bizarre sexual stuff, and that it's okay. And that it's okay to be a pedophile. And it's okay, to do all the crazy things that they're doing in government. Everything's now okay and is totally out of alignment with love. It's not okay. It's not fucking okay. So all of us have to wrap our heads around all of this and change or address how we feel about these things and put the best way in place of this and clear this out, because these beliefs of the old world no longer serve us. As long as we believe that there's still the Republican and Donald Trump versus Joe Biden people, and that the COVID shot is a good thing, then we're fucked. We're fucked, right? Quite honestly. All right. However, this is what I feel and know to be my truth with God, and this is what I teach here on the show. You don't have to agree with it. My job is not to convince you of anything. My job is to give you the God's honest tools to figure it out with love yourself. Ask and you shall receive. This is what we do here, okay? But my job is to get that truth to you, all right? So this said, without going too crazy like last week, where I'm going into these ranting places, but if it need to be said, it shall be said from love, okay? All right, so that said, I want to take a minute also to talk to you guys, but before I go into talking to you about too much about this as well, I want to talk to you about my ad, my beautiful ad. This was designed by Sophia, isn't it hot as shit, right? She did a great job, okay? And this is our ad for tonight, and what this is about is the CBDC, central bank digital currency. Tonight we're going to talk about that, and because the plan is in the energy right now, 68 to 73% that it is coming for sure in July, and it's going to be wild, but they may push it back, but there's a pretty strong propensity here right now in this moment. The nature of God is everything is always changing, and this too can change because the darkness has to figure it out. They can only push the envelope so far, just like with this Dominion energy thing. They're working on getting you to believe that their systems are all better now, and they're going to lie till they die, because that's what darkness does. Lie till you die. And what we teach here is truth. God's honest truth, right? And that's what the light is, all right? Because if you tell the truth and you come from love and truth of love, and you listen to your heart and are guided by your heart and higher knowing and working with God or love, you will always be in alignment with truth, okay? All right. Might not be in the way that you think, but you will always be, and it will always be far more powerful than anything that the darkness could ever bring to the table. But tonight, this is the ad from Facebook, if you haven't seen it, an open forum on how this is going to go down, what's coming, I have to read it here, and how to prepare. Okay. Most of the stuff many times I've talked about here and there, but today I thought it would be really cool, all right, to talk to you guys about the different denominations of gold and silver and things like that, because a lot of people don't know, like the states are coming out with really cool shit, like gold-backed dollars, okay? And that's what this here is, a gold-backed dollar. But if nobody shows us and talks to us about it, we don't know about these things. So I'm being guided from higher knowing because a couple of my people were asking me about how are we going to pay for currency with like a $2,000 gold coin. You know, some people are like, what do we do? Shave it? You know, and so tonight we're going to talk about what you do. We're going to show you a little bits and pieces of gold and silver and things that you should have or start investing in. And also people become overwhelmed and they're like, well, I can't afford a $2,000 1-ounce gold piece. And then they get the shit on and then they don't buy anything. But the truth is gold and silver, right, comes in really tiny pieces. Like this is like a piece that's like anywhere from $70 to $80 to $100. Okay. It's 1 gram. And it also comes in half grams. Do you see? This is gold, right? So I'm borrowing from a collection from some people that I know here that were kind enough to share it. That I think they got a Christmas gift and they got a little galactic box. See their cool galactic box, and this is where they keep their golden pieces in. So either way, you get my point. And we'll talk about more of this in a little bit, because tonight I want to really focus on you guys on the internet while we have some great opportunities and not a lot of people here in the audience. And I want to make I want to work with you guys first. And we're going to go from there. So we're going to answer everybody's questions today as best we can. We're going to start with leftover questions from last week. And then we're going to talk about gold and silver and the coins and the expenses and how it works and how to go about it and the things you should have and in our segment tonight. All right. So this is a little bit longer opening, as you know, but let's get going and we'll start from here. And thank you guys for coming. Thanks for being my people. Thanks for being our people. And anybody you know that we can help with the supplies that we have and anything that we do, share what we do. This is about love. This is about higher knowing, and this is about changing the world to love. Because, you know, I was thinking about this today because I love lions and I'm a lion person. There is no doubt about it. And I was saying to Jennifer how when I see animals, I don't like to see other animals kill other animals. And I understand the nature of all that is God, but in my human space, I'm not into that. Like when 4 lions gang up on 1 lion, but that 1 lion fights till he motherfucking dies because he's going to fight with everything he has for his what? His freedom. And I said to Jennifer, I said, oh my God, I said, I was sitting there, and as much as I'm really disturbed by animals killing each other, and it's not my cup of tea, and I have work to do on it and spiritually understanding on all of this, right? And I'm still working on everything in my life. I realize that I am one of those lions, and that the truth is, lions don't fold. They don't fold. They go and they go and they go for everything that they believe in from love, because that's how they're designed. If you watch the lions, you know, it's rough stuff to watch. When there's a pride takeover, they go for it and they don't stop. They don't fold. They don't get bribed by the Chinese government. They don't get bribed by some other more money or some other opportunity or all the shit that goes on. They follow, live, and exist in their lion being in their hearts. And it was this that made me realize the tenacity that I have. And this, I was designed like this. Why? It's for these times, exactly for these times. Because come hell or high water, we're going for it. Because what else do we got? Just like the lion. It's all or nothing, man. It's fucking all or nothing. And that's how it goes. So from love, I wanted to share that with you because that was profound understanding about me, myself, being a lion person, right? And this is a very powerful core in my energy, right? And we'll get into this in the future, talking about Christ lions. You know, there's so many different pieces and bits that we are from different dimensions, different galaxies in all that we are, right? A lot of millennials will talk about this stuff, you know, being Palladian and Syrian and star seeds and rainbow children. And so there is so many different facets of all that is God, just like they have galactic, what is it called? It's, I don't want to say, but galactic meetings and things like this, right? They talk about all these really funky out of this world things, right? And just like when they say, oh, well, we're aliens, right? We are aliens, just not in the way that you think. We are not really from this planet. This is part of the reason we have such a hard time. Some of us have been on this planet many, many, many times, okay? And we have those gifts. But just like me being a lion person, it is the core of who I am. And lion people know more than any other race and all that is how and all of the workings of love. This is why I'm doing this work. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Love, how love truly works. That's what they have come here to teach, however they do it. Whether you do it like I do it, whether you do it like, whatever way anybody does it, truly. Okay? So each one of us, though, I'm Lumarian, I am also Atlantean, I'm Hadarian, so I'm so many different things that are pieces and different, every past piece of every lifetime that I am is all part of my existence in my soul and my God connection and in all that I am that is my space of God. And we are all this in some way, shape, or form that is unique to us. Okay. This said, before I keep on going off in all these really wild, cool directions, I wanted to share that with you because I was super stoked because it helped me to understand and to say, okay, have a different understanding about lions, that when one lion gets attacked by 4 other lions, and let's say some lions will make it through that, right? Excuse me a minute. Right? They'll make it through that with their mad skills and gifts because the other lions aren't quite as tenacious, but sometimes they don't make it through that, right? But it's the fact that they never fucking fold no matter what. And we've seen a world with people filled with no balls. Absolutely none. Right? When it comes right down to it, they fold to the darkness. And it's happened over and over and over and over and over and over with all the politicians and so much of what's going on out there. You're going to see false prophets as well. There's shit going on. I'm just going to throw out some names, okay? Of names that people who aren't who you think they are. Oprah Winfrey, all right? The Dalai Lama. Who else is there? Eckhart Tolle. Okay? And think about this because if you notice, they're somehow connected to each other in some way, shape, or form. Since when is Elon Musk a movie star or to go to the gala? We're seeing too many connections here that are like bizarre, right? But either way, right? Toxic, when you see toxic, right? And that's the truth of God or love. All right. It shows you everything that's going on here. And what we never want to be in our hearts is those kinds of people who fold. It doesn't mean that, you're a piece of shit. What it means is, right, different people have different missions at different times. All right. But I'm very proud proud and happy to be this guy here. Right. And this is really who we are. We are the fighters. We are the warriors that no matter what, we're going to fight till the end. And this is what we are going to be and do on this planet and what we've come here to do. And the lion has reminded me of that. And it made me feel really good about them because that's pretty valiant. That's pretty cool, really. Really to fight till the end for what you believe in. How many people out here can honestly say that? Whether you're a lion, a person, whatever it is, from love. Are you fighting for what you believe in? Are you standing up for what you believe in? Because that's going to be the new world. Speaking the truth from love, the God's honest truth. You don't know what that is? Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so tonight, here we are, moving on to questions. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. Who's doing questions? Ray, Soph, Ray, or Jen?
We have Kathy from last week.
Okay.
She's asking if you could connect with her mom, Patsy.
All right. Hi, Kathy. I apologize for not getting to you last week. So I'm glad that Rachel brought it up. Okay. You were saying you're going through some stuff with your sister. This is why this needs to be resolved. Your mom, when I see her in front of me, she goes like this, like she's wiping her head, like she's tired. She's tired of this, right? She loves you guys. She wants to help you work this out. And really, this should be really about coming from love. That's it. And not toxic, not unwell, coming from love. So you ask God that this is how it should be. Your mom, excuse me, is around you all the time. Now, this doesn't mean your sister is right or you are right, okay? This means that it behooves you both to sit back and take a look at whether you're coming from love within yourself and your ideas and with each other, right? Sit down, write down what you both want. Your mother's around you all the time, right? She will guide you. You'll have visions of her. She will come to you in her dreams. You will feel her on your shoulder. You'll feel her touching you. She'll be around you. You'll feel her in the energy. She's a very strong, powerful figure for both of you guys, right? And really this isn't supposed to be like this, right? This is not what your mom would want for you. Me as a mother, and I would not want this for you. All right. So, or for my children either. I want everybody to get along. In fact, I was just talking today about taking out a different life insurance policy, right? So that there's a life insurance policy on me for everybody in my family so that nobody's stabbing each other to death when I die to get that money. Because now I've taken it out of their hands, and that really in itself is such a good blessing. Because I can say, well, I feel my kids are going to be great and they're going to do the right thing forever, but God forbid something toxic might happen, and then they, God forbid one of them becomes an addict or something like that, and then they're so sick that they can't do the right thing. Well, this then at least ensures that everybody has their stuff, right, in the right places from love. So this is really important for everybody, including you, Kathy, for your sister and you as well, to work this out if you can from love. Find out what you want, work it out together, see if you can't sit down and go to an attorney together to get this worked on and changed and set in stone, so you guys don't keep going back and forth at it, right? It's daunting on you and it's heavy in your heart. And this is also a big chunk of why you're having the problems or the issues that you're having with your heart. Everything physical is metaphysical. You cannot tell me that this does not hurt your heart. Just like your mother. She goes like this, she's wiping her forehead. She's going, oh my God, because no mother wants this, right? So she's trying to be around you guys, trying to guide you, trying to help you to do the right thing from love, for yourselves and each other. But this is when this is healed and this is worked on, this is going to help your heart grow and be stronger. People don't realize how everything physical is metaphysical and how it's connected to everything, whether it's our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health, right? If you're hurting in your heart, it's going to come out in that way somewhere, somehow. It can't not. Yeah. And then when you have this aggravation and upsettiness over and over and over, stress levels is through the roof. That's no good for your heart either. And so this is what's coming in. Your mom loves you very much. She's around you all the time. She's equally around your sister. There is no favorite here. Your mother, whether you believe it or not, does not play favorites. She loves both of you. You both have places and things in yourselves that she loves about you, and then there's some things that she's not enchanted with. That's the best word for both of you. Like when you have issues where you go at it, because really this isn't supposed to be about money. Money is in abundance. Everything is, houses, money, all these wonderful things, right? That we have are icing on the cake. What's really important here is love, our friendship, our families, our partnerships, each other from love. So this is the biggest message your mother wants me to convey to you. And she's tired. She's tired. You guys are fucking tired. We're all fucking tired of this shit that's going on in the world that's out of alignment with love, right? So you, by healing this with your sister, Kathy, will heal this within your heart. Okay? Because it has a propensity to go on until you do heal it, truly. And you'll know when it is healed because it'll work out in the best way from love, and it will reflect in your physical health as well as your mental and spiritual health and in all that you are. Yeah. Okay, girl? All right. Love you. And if you have any other questions, holler. She's also telling me about daffodils and something about blue roses. All right. Interesting, huh? So she wants me to share that with you. That is for you and your sister. Okay, so if you want to share this with your sister, great. If you want to hold that or not, but follow your heart and let your heart guide you with God or love, and you will know exactly what to share, when to share, how to share. So if you don't understand this, she's telling me you will. You will. It may take a few days, and she's telling me a few dreams, a few things that have to go on before you will understand all this. Okay? So those are some like cryptic messages from your mom. Pretty cool. But because I'm like going a blue rose, that's pretty cool. And the other thing was daffodils. Really cool. All right. So thanks, Kathy. And if you have any more questions, just holler. Okay? All right. Who's next, Ray?
Jen's coming.
Oh, Jen's got the next guy. All right.
St. Quinn. He would like.
Hey, California bound.
St. would like to talk about the fate God has for us, as St. puts it.
Okay, the fate God has for us. Go ahead, St. Like, do you have a specific question in reference to that, or how? Like, I'm looking for a direction that you want me to elaborate on in this, or yeah. All right, I'm going to ask God, the God's honest truth, what it is that you're looking for, the fate God has for us with the world, with everything that's going on, so to speak. Because God is love and love always perseveres. So this will happen. This too is happening. But we have to go through great transformation to get to these spaces, and it will happen all along. So it's going to be chaotic for a long ass time. It definitely will be. Pluto will be in Aquarius for at least 21 years. Pretty much. And then you have it cusping out into what comes after Aquarius. Is it Aries? March, Aquarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then Pluto will be going into Pisces, and that'll be a storm. When you ask me what the grand plan of the world is that love perseveres. So no matter what kind of shit we talk about, no matter how wild I get wild in my moments because I'm a human being as well as we are warriors. We are here to change the world, and we are here to fight the darkness. And it has been a long time since the beginning of time, the story of the battle of dark and light, right? But the truth is love has all the power. All the power always, no matter what anyone tells you. And love will persevere. And it is up to us in alignment with love as the souls that we are, because we go from dimension to dimension to dimension, right? We are the superheroes of the universe to change the world, to set things straight. It's no accident that when we were younger, we had superhero cartoons and X-Men and all, Spider-Man and Aquaman. No matter what age you are, Batman and Robin, you know what I'm talking about. So it is no accident. Everything that happens out here tells you the truth about what's going on in here and who you are. So Sinjin, I feel you're going on a super cool destiny journey. I do feel you'll be back. I do feel you're going to do a lot of traveling. I do feel for some reason you are called to California for your personal mission, but it's going to be a short-lived mission. In other words, I don't see you there. When I say short-lived, I don't feel like if you do stay there for a longer period of time, the most it's going to be, I feel, is 5 or 6 years, because I don't feel like it's going to be enough for you. You're going to need to do more. But you are here of this whole mission of high-end Christ or high-end consciousness or love consciousness. And this is this is all part of your mission. So see, you can go from one thing to another, just like you can go to different spaces in the world. You can do different things. And I feel this is what you're going to do. You're going to find your own way and do your own great things that you're magically gifted in from love. I feel you will be doing these things. And so the ultimate plan is that love will persevere no matter what, and where there's God, there's a way. Just like when I talk about the financial market, when they talk about the CBDB coins coming in, right? There's going to be layers and layers and layers of behind the scenes black market. If you thought there was anything under the table before, if any of you know what under the table means, right? In terms of, tax wise, right? There's a saying that says, any cash money or things like that are under the table. And that's what they're trying to avoid and trying to take over and control everything, everything under the table. But the funny shit is, the more they want to take away the under the table that was there and control everything, the more things are going to go berserk and ballistic, because the more you try to control God, the more God says, fuck you. It's the nature of the energy, man. It's like anytime I don't want my lover to cheat and I'm worried about my lover cheating, the fucker is cheating. It's just the way that it rolls, because I'm freaking out and I'm creating it. So the more they don't want that to happen, the more you're going to see they're already creating it. All these markets, all these underground markets for gold, for silver, for barter, for exchange. I mean, the shit is going to be wild. That's why I post on my Facebook. Exciting. You can't stop God. You can't. You just fucking can't, right? So you're going on a trip, Sinjin. It's going to be exciting. All of us are. Our whole new destinies are going to be fun, exciting, and just fucking awesome and amazing. And I do hope to see you at the ocean front in the future, or wherever God may lead us. Who knows? It may be, because right before COVID, Sinjin, I was going out to San Diego to do events out in San Diego, and then COVID hit, and then I couldn't do my events. And a lot of people might not know this here, but I used to travel all over the country and do spiritual events and shows and teach on stage, and people would pay tickets for my events, as well as I would do a lot of stuff just like I do here on donation and basically free, so to speak, to help people see a different perspective, to help people across the board from love, guided by higher knowing, right? Guided by God, guided by love. So you're all part of this mission, Sinjin. And so a lot of people don't know that I used to do that, but this is I may see you in California in the future, but from what I understand, California is a fuckstorm of crazy nonsense, right? Of all those beliefs here that have gone like into the blender and they came out as something completely different, right? You know, one minute I'm Lynn and I'm a female and I go into the blender and I come out and now I'm a man, or I'm not sure about being a man, or my body parts have changed, or, you know, I mean, this is the world we're living in, okay? It's a crazy, crazy world. It doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it right. It is what it is, but you know what's healthy or not from love, and this is where the issue is. Is it in alignment with love? So wherever you go, Sinjin, remember that with whatever you do, and you will always come out on top of it from love and be in the healthiest space. So love will win. Love wins. Always. Always. Okay? All right. So I hope that answered your question for everybody here in the world as well. What a beautiful sunset is out there tonight. It's just gorgeous.
Ooh,
yeah.
really
Yeah.
pretty.
Summertime sunsets are starting, or late spring, right? Yeah. They're here. They're here. Okay. So if you guys get a chance, go check out the sunset. Maybe it's where you are too. Maybe. Maybe the sun is also setting in your world. All right. And it's pretty. Okay. So that said, who's next, Ray?
We have Nikki.
Nikki Opper.
Yeah.
Nikki.
She is asking, what are the repercussions of people selling their souls to the devil? Like Dylan Mulvaney, he was unheard of 6 months ago and now is the most powerful fake woman in the United States. What did he give up to get his fame? And she's also asking if she can clear her hostility towards him and people like him.
Okay. Okay. I have a question for you, Nikki, if you're cool with this. The biggest question comes in is, what is the hostility for? Like, what do you feel is fueling this hostility, if you're comfortable talking about it? If not, we can always work on that more personal stuff later, you know, because I know this subject matter gets kind of touchy. But we can definitely clear all this. But it would be interesting to see in the facets of your soul, right? What's the core underlying energies that make you not, is it care for him or hate him or whatever it is? What did she say? Hostility, right? I have to know more about him as well, more in depth. You know how I roll. I ask for more in Earth World, because everything is bits and pieces of the truth, the God's honest truth of the whole story. Because as people tell me things, as you would tell me things here, universe, God, love, and angels talks to me all the time and tells me things that go with this. This is why this is, and this connects to this, Lynn, and that happens, and this happens along with my soul. Okay, this is how I do this work, right? This is a big chunk of how I do this, clearly. Okay, you're back. All right.
I got her.
So, are you okay if I share you on the show, Nick?
Yeah.
All right, here's Nick. It's caught in my thing here. All right, I don't know if you guys can see Nick. There's Nick and her baby. She's on the show right now. All right, so I'm going to put you right here, Nick. So tell me what's going on. Thanks for calling.
So, Dylan Mulvaney was a gay man who became non-binary, who became transgendered, and started a YouTube journey called The Journey of Girlhood. And his first day of girlhood, he cried 3 times, and he said that someone asked if he was okay, and he said I was fine, and then I went shopping for things that I couldn't do, and he's creating this is what womanhood is. And it's so farce. And he's literally an actor, and he did his 1 year of being a girl, and it was a whole Disney-themed, oh, woe is me, I've had such a hard life. And now he's the spokesperson for Nike bras. He's a dude. He still has dude parts.
And he's a spokesperson for who?
Nike, for Nike's sports bras and leggings. Maybelline, Ulta, MAC, tampons for Tampax. He doesn't have a period, and he doesn't plan, as far as I'm aware, does not plan on transitioning into full, I guess,
But here's the deal,
parts.
right? You know, the truth is, we all got to get a clue how fucked up this is. This is not healthy. This is mental illness. This isn't anything having to do with anything. And this is rolling mental illness that is getting away with it in this dark environment, which is all part of the grand plan of the darkness. And he's rolling with this to be this guy, to be that guy, to be this. But here's the nature of God, which is the good part to look at it. Because there are many people who are sick or unwell in these places. And the stuff that he's doing can actually help these people to identify with these things in themselves in a different way, to say, I'm not alone and I have people like this. It's when we get all righteous and toxic, right? So there's positive things within this space, even though it's hard for, let's say, somebody like you or me to not see how unwell it is in with what is going on here, right? And then people manipulate the dynamics of this, because that's what he's doing. He's manipulating this and he's manipulating that so that he can be famous and he can be this and he can have this and he can do this, and it keeps him in the addiction of the spotlight, whether it's of darkness or not. This is what he's doing. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's multiple psychological illnesses and unwellnesses in this, right? And I feel like it's not him personally that you hate. It is all of this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it isn't truth of God in love in the healthiest space of love. It's just not. It's super unwell. It's mental illness. You got 100 therapists up here who tell the truth about psychology, right? Or psychotherapy and all of the shit, mental stuff. They're going to tell you that too, if they're any kind of truth. This is all about unwellness in the soul, and it doesn't mean that you can't be gay, and it doesn't mean that you can't do these things, but this is a rampant problem in this reality, and there's healthier spaces of everything, but you are picking out and seeing all these toxic things, right, that don't resonate with your soul, and your soul is angry and pissed off because this is not healthy, and it gets it, and it's taking advantage of things that the world has built from a place of love to celebrate, let's say, women, or celebrate people who are in a healthier space of being, let's say, gay. All right, I'm sure there are many people or trans or whatever who are in healthier spaces that are not this incredible mental illness. You don't have to be gay or lesbian or trans, right? And be tied up with this mental illness that is going on here. Do you understand that? So they're taking this and they're making it an okay thing. And it's sickness that they're propelling because they're trying to destroy everything that's going on in this country, the moral ethics of everything. This makes it hard for you to raise your child and teach your child, what it is to be a young girl and a woman, because the truth is, you don't have to teach her about all this other shit that they're instilling in our school systems about being gay and trans and lesbian and all of that shit, because it is shit. It is not necessary. All right. The truth is, when you come from love, you know how to treat people. That's the truth. It doesn't matter if they're gay, doesn't matter if they're lesbian, doesn't matter if they're trans. If we're all in a healthy space of love, everything works out wonderfully. And this bullshit flies right out the door. Because the truth of God and love does not allow this kind of toxic. Right? And so you're feeling all of this stuff that is going on. All right. And celebration of life for your daughter. These things are some beautiful things that the world is in a code of ethics that's healthy. Okay. When we start to say, and she has to compete with men, there's a big problem there. There's no reason why he can't be put in his own category of this, in whatever his category he wants to be in. As well as we can celebrate women, we can celebrate men, we can celebrate everything in a healthy space of love if we need to from love. And this is what's best for all. This is how it will go down. But your rage and your anger is rightfully based because they're deliberately doing all of this to destroy the whole entire country. And it's intricate and it's complex, right? This is just one piece of it, just like the black and white issue. Me and you have gone at it, discussing it, because you are a woman of color, but you're also a woman who is super intelligent, super gifted in so many things. And we have been each other. I've been a woman of color lifetimes, a man of color. We've all been all of these things. And that's what Earth World doesn't get, is when you get to this level of consciousness, this understanding of God, all of these things are worked out from love, and you have a different understanding of the truth of what's going on here. But this darkness has taken over every system in the country. And this is just another part of this, another part of that. And then your daughter has a harder time at getting her chance. And then you get angry because you're her mom and you feel for her. And you feel for you too, because it's not right for you either. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he may be in this darkness more likely to get a job that you wouldn't be able to get because of the way he is. And now there's all this favoritism in this Earth World towards him in this society that has gone fuck dark and toxic, right? Because the truth is the same thing with the immigrants. All the immigrants they're letting in, all the secret things behind the scenes that are going on in the country are designed to destroy the very fabric, right, of everything that was Capricorn in this country, or everything that is code of ethics of love, right? Integrity, honor, respect, accountability, coming from love for you and all. Do you see what I'm saying? Code of ethics, man. When business and everything, right? Businesses have lost their fucking minds. We talked a little bit about that last week with the Dominion Power Place, right? Have a $3,000 electric bill. I get it down to $800. I move out of the house. We have a payment plan. I get little behind like a week or so. They fucking send it to collections. What the fuck, man? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, you want to play, man? But here's the deal. I don't care about shit like that because I got God. Whether I have whether I'm in your credit world or living in this world's belief or CBDBs or whatever the fuck is going on here, God is going to lead me to whatever I want, whatever I need, no matter what, from love. And the same is true for you and your daughter, no matter how much bizarre of this goes, right? It's kind of like, what if they start, pedophilia? That's another thing. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to be attracted to 12-year-olds, Right. Stop! Fucking stop! It is not fucking okay! And it is definitely out of alignment with love. Do you see? So this is why, I feel like I took on your anger here. I feel like, and this is truly why, and it's a whole ton of systems, and I could talk about this probably for weeks and days, because we talk about little bits in each time on the show, because the truth is, it's breaking up the very core and fabric of our country. They are destroying America. They are trying to destroy America. It is up to us who's going to put it together. Do you see what I'm saying? Put it back together. But there's going to be a lot of false prophets. Like I said, there's Oprah, there's Dalai Lama, there's Eckhart Tolle. And so now I'm not calling them this. Figure it out. Ask God what the truth is about these people. All right. I'm not going to make any accusations. I'm just going to tell you that these are people that come in from universe for me. That are like, you know what I'm saying? So if they come in like this, and on the events that are happening, I think there was all this shitstorm, just like there was about the Bud Light commercials. There was this shitstorm about the Dalai Lama and the weirdo tongue shit. The truth is, the weirdo tongue shit shouldn't be happening. Not in that fucking space of enlightenment. Not in that space of enlightenment. Just like the shit that I did 40 years ago or 30 years ago. Drugs or whatever I got involved in, and the toxic shit that I participated in and shit. That this space of enlightenment would never even be in that space. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Doesn't happen that way. So the truth will always come out, right? But that was all part of my learning and my growing and releasing and healing and moving forward as a human being. We all have skeletons in the closet. The key is those skeletons don't define us. Love does. And at any time, we can choose to not be like that. And you have all the power, and so does your daughter, no matter what happens out here. So as long as this dude is over here and it doesn't affect you in an unhealthy way, right, then you roll. You don't even have to put your energy into this. You pick and choose for good things for your daughter. And if this comes to your table, then there's work to do here for you, either in your new destiny as well as on a personal level for you, your daughter, and the whole world. Do you see what I'm saying? From love.
Yes.
Yeah. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Anything else you want to add or ask me? Or God?
I haven't gotten to your question yet. No, that's good. Like I said, I've been struggling with this, and it makes more sense as to why I'm upset of the concept versus him personally. No, I'm good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know, it's not a personal thing. What you're angry about, I feel, is you of all people, truly, you know, with your history of being black, right? If I can speak freely, right? Or African American or whatever your ethnicity is, right? Or a person of color. Okay. Right. You have a history of having these experiences, right? So this plays a role really in your character to me. So you're going to naturally overall as a general rule, be more open to people who are gay, people who are eccentric, people who have challenges like this because you had these challenges. Do you understand that? Yeah. And that's for all of us. Just like, you know, without living it, you don't really get it, you know, and we have been so many things in lifetimes, over lifetimes, and we carry everything with us. So this gives us an understanding of higher knowing from our past lives, our soul assessments. Now, some stuff is toxic, right? So we work on our stuff, but we'll know what that is as it comes to our door or our table in this earth world reality. Do you see? But I don't feel in your character this is anything nasty on a commentary of anything personal for you with him. And what he does, kudos. He's in alignment with darkness. The world is separate from that. If you are in alignment with love, that's your world. You make your world, not him. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's going to be a lot more wild times and wild cards coming with all of this. Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you back to Jen. Thanks so much. Thanks for calling in too. I'm going to let you say hi, bye to everybody. There's Nick. Oh my God. I lost you. Oh, it's great. I have these mad iPhone skills. I can't even get back to you. All right. Well, this is where Nikki would be. Okay. So this is why AI will never work for high vibrational people, super high vibrational people. Because no matter how many times I work with it, it's all fucked up. I have a Subaru, a 2019. It's a bear. It never works right. All right. Oh my God. I have to sit there for 20 minutes while we float the key around the lock and wait for it to electronically open. And usually the alarm goes off. Then quickly Jennifer runs in it and puts the key in the ignition. It's so fucking crazy. But this is why AI is not going to work in the way that they think, man. Because it isn't alive in the way that we are. Do you see what I'm saying? All right, from love in the purest form. Okay, so this said, and there's a lot more to be said about that too in the future. Okay, next question. And where are we time-wise?
It is 8:11.
Okay. Thanks, Ray.
Stephanie Bard was wondering, she says that she has an Eckhart Tolle book, but she hasn't finished it yet. She's wondering about the message and whether or not you feel it's bad.
There's good things in everything, Stephanie. Hi. All right, there's good things in everything, and truths in everything. You just got to find those things that work for you and that resonate for you. Like there's things that aren't even, let's say, you know, like one of the books we did a few classes on was that Anton LaFay, what was it, Satan book or whatever it was, where he talks about the code of ethics of darkness. And I would have never known it if I didn't pick up that book to find out that the code of ethics of darkness is basically like everything I teach here flipped. Do you see what I'm saying? But in order, you know, to see that, the formula of God switched over to the formula of darkness, right? But in order for me to see that, I needed to go into that space. And so my soul is guided from that space. That doesn't mean that, and this is a perfect example really, actually, of seeing the good things and the truth about everything, because that gave me incredible wisdom even today that I use now to understand how this darkness works. Where there's black, there's white. Where there's up, there's down. So God and universe, it's a whole dynamics of constant change in the energies that are going on in the world. And so if you resonate with Eckhart Tolle book, and I've had many clients who do, and then I have many clients who absolutely do not. And this goes back years. I've had some that are really super intelligent and gifted people, but they just can't read his stuff or be in alignment with his stuff. And that's okay. You have to feel in your heart what is best for you. But there are truths in everything. There's some good stuff. I read his, I think, Power and Now book, but I didn't read the other ones. I think I might have opened them up and I wasn't really feeling it. And if I don't feel it, I'm like, I just put it down. And if I'm meant to be called back to it, I will be. And trust your soul. Everything in these times is alignment with exactly where you need to be. So people say to me all the time, am I where I'm supposed to be? What do I need to be doing? I'm like, you're doing it. You're doing it. Trust God. You're doing it. Okay?
She says that's what she's reading.
What, The Power Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good book, but there's so much more to it. I mean, in his intellectual space, he's got a great beat in his own design and his own ways for what he's teaching. Okay, but there is also different teachers, different ways that will teach you the power of now and different belief systems. In other words, the word now is in the moment. It's in the transit in astrology. So I tend to see, and what he's saying is getting in that space releases you from all this other shit. And this is true. However, to me, it's way beyond that. But there's a lot of great things, in those spaces that he teaches and that are good tools. So if you feel you resonate with those things and they work for you, then by all means you follow your heart. All right. And you feel what's best for you. So that's basically the same thing is true with like music. The same thing is true with art. The same thing is true with anything. Everything from the Anton LaFey book that we did some classes on to read about this crazy wild stuff and how these things work. But every experience, everything that we do is designed to better us, to get to the truth of God and love and bring us to different elevations and vibrations of love itself within ourselves and for all the tools and gifts that we need for our journey here. So if you feel it, by all means, you read it, you'll know what the truth is and what feels good to you. You'll know because you'll feel it in your heart. Okay? All right. There you go, girl. Who's next?
We have Andrew Karate.
Okay. Hey, Andrew.
He is saying, can you believe Biden is running for re-election to finish what he started? How stupid does this guy think that the American people are?
Well, I do believe it because he's a proxy. Biden is a proxy. He is not really, it's like a puppeteer, you know what I mean? And he's been bought out by the Chinese government, all right, or the New World Order, and this is all part of the plan. He says, they say jump, he says how high, and that's how it's been, and it's not the government of the people anymore. This is not our government, people. So the shit is coming, and it's only a matter of time, but this is the truth. So they are going to try to reinstill him, all right, as long as he can within his health, keep up all of this stuff that they got going on with this, all right, as well as the same thing is true with the Dominion machines. Let's watch and see what happens there because this is all part of the grand design, and the fact that the people are just like the fact that you tell me that you're like, can you believe Biden's running for the election? Well, yeah, I can, because that's their plan. Their plan is to keep you guys believing in this stupid fucking piece of shit ass government of darkness. It's here to keep you believing in that. All right. Yeah. So why? So that you conform. So that you say, okay, well, I voted and my vote makes a difference. You're fucking high. You're fucking high. Everything is rigged. It's not going to happen. There is no more Republican Party. There's no more Democratic Party. There's no more valiant Capricorn code of ethics or Saturn's code of ethics in the White House anymore. There is none of that. It's all gone, people. It's all gone. It is not real, okay? And especially now more than ever. And your guy is not going to get voted in. The guy that will be the best person from love is just not going to get voted in there. This is something that is going to have to be done Aryan style. You know what that means, right? Yeah. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was the revolution. Get my point? Yeah. So I keep praying for a SEAL team. I keep praying for a SEAL team to take over, to destroy the New World Order, as well as the government that we got here, right? So Jesus take the wheel. Like one of those magical old world SEAL teams that is crazy gifted, right? So, that's another one of my things that I just wanted to share with you because it's funny. It's funny. Pray for a SEAL team to take them out because really this is a toxic world. So everybody who puts, and this is what I'm talking about, our belief systems are still instilled of the old ways where we believe that the girl from Georgia with the blonde hair is going to make a difference. And then they start a debate on aliens and you're like, yeah, what the fuck was I thinking? Stop. And the same thing, I was hoping with that Matt kid, right? And I should have known. Who was that? Matt Gaetz. And then he got wrapped up in the scandal. Tucker Carlson, I think, ripped him apart on TV. And you were like, why is he being so mean? Well, Tucker Carlson does his homework. He does. He does his homework regardless, and so he's not going to feel that he's going to rip somebody up if he doesn't have his eggs or his eggs in the right basket, right? But going back to this, thanks God for bringing me back to where we were for what we're talking about. This Joe Biden stuff and all of this, it's not real. It's not real. So they're trying to conform and make you believe that it is. And this is going to continue until the people stop it. Until the people stop it. So it's coming. Come hell or high water. And I'm not necessarily, saying anybody has to get up and start a war or anything like that, because the nature of God is God takes care of God itself always. So where there is God, there is a way. There are people who will be born into this, or suddenly one of those little triggers in the collective consciousness will come, and there will be that SEAL team. There will be those people who will come in and do what is right. But don't be thinking it's going to be a fantasy thing, where it's going to happen next week, or in this way, so to speak. I'm just giving you ideas of what is coming and examples of how these things work with God or love. All right. Because love has all the power, but these representatives and the shit that they're saying, we were just talking about, Matt Gaetz, right? And we are talking about him and Tucker Carlson. When he first came out, I was really hoping in my heart, in my people heart, that he could be a decent guy. And then you found out that he got all wrapped up with like a 17-year-old and there's all this shit. Now they may have set him up somewhat, but the fact that he looks like JFK set me off from the very start. What did JFK do? He was a bit of a philanderer. Yeah, All right, so when I see that energy in him, I have to say, what's the truth about Matt Gaetz? Because Matt Gaetz looks like JFK, and I'm like, because it tells you the truth, what's going on in his character by the way he looks. Don't ignore this shit, people. Just like Joe Biden, somebody posted a picture of him and he had like a crooked, nasty fucking smile. Make no mistake about it. That's who he really is. Make no mistake about it. Look at people. Look at the core of their energy, what their eyes are doing, what the energy is. Read them. Who do they look like? What are they wearing? What are they doing? What do they represent? What do they say? All these things tell you the truth about people. But this world here right now still isn't ready, so it wouldn't surprise me if Joe Biden gets back in office or somebody else gets in there. But when that happens, and depending on what happens between now and then, because every day darkness pushes the envelope and then pulls it back because they're nervous as fuck, right? They move forward to try to get their way and they pull back because when the people start to rise up, not unlike events that happen in China and stuff, right? So just like when the new world CBD currency comes in, they're going to say, we're going to give you a chunk of money and you just do this and your government loves you. And then the people are going to sign on and then they're going to, little by little, they're going to take your money away and still more laws. And then they're going to be like, well, it's okay that we take, $100 of your paycheck every week. It's okay. It's okay. And now, and then they're going to funnel through everything you buy, every single thing you buy. I mean, this is insanity, right? I'm not about that at all. Not at all. Not for a second. But this is how they're going to bribe you and you're going to have some mad decisions. But here's the deal. Doesn't mean you have to cut it off and say, I'm never doing that. That's not how it works. You ask God for the way to deal with this. You ask God how to do everything. God or love will show you. And I'll share my shit here as long as, until they take me away. Clear that out, God, clear that out. Jesus, take the wheel, right? But you get my point, right? Where there's God, there's a way. And it's not always going to be in the radical way you would think. So maybe you'll convert to that CBDB thing. But over here, you have stockpiled gold and silver and food. And there's all those other markets that are underneath and behind the scenes, right? That are those black markets or under the table markets. There is no way they're going to be able to stop this. What are you going to do? Shoot all the people, put them all in jail? And don't think for a second if they get Chinese troops out here, the shit is going to hit the fucking fan. And for all the people that hate the Patriots now, they're going to love them. Yeah, because they ain't got no balls to stand up to this kind of shit like the Patriots do. There's a whole different energy over there. And it doesn't mean that I'm employing this versus this. I am just telling you the truth of the energies in God and how these things work. Truly in the energy that it is. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of these things go down. But as a general rule, in the energy right now, this is the propensity for what is coming. Next week it could change, because everything that is God is always shifting. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, everything that is God, that is love, is always shifting and changing. And as the darkness moves, the light moves, right? And influxes of love and everything that is God keep right on coming in. And at any given time, the darkness can change its mind and not be dark. Do you understand that? As we all can choose to work on our stuff. And like when somebody says, well, how does it work? I think somebody asked the question, how does it work with darkness, when you sell your soul to the devil? It doesn't work like in the ways that you think. I just absolutely love that book, that German book that I hated reading, I think in high school. Faustus, I think it was, right? I think it was Faustus. Anyone ever read that book? Get it? Faustus. All right. Take a look at that book. It was a man who sold his soul to the devil, right? It's an old book. It's a famous book. All right. And the guy's name was Faustus. Think about that. There are no accidents here, people. Think about people's names. Think about everything. It tells you the truth of everything. When the Dalai Lama sticks his tongue out like a snake, you got to say, okay, God, there's something wrong here. There's like a snake coming out of this enlightenment space. I'm like, yeah, are we in the Garden of Eden? Where are we exactly? You have to say, what the fuck is going on? So you get a clue. Ask God, ask love. It doesn't mean that the Dalai Lama hasn't had good things that he taught and stuff like that, but the truth is coming out of everybody, everywhere. And sometimes it's little rough to swallow, and you don't even want to believe it in your people space, because it's difficult times. It absolutely is. So it doesn't like come out like this devil kind of stuff. What it is, basically, it comes in all different ways, all different forms of making a deal, so to speak. And it's not, oh, here's what I give you. Like people say, here's what I give you to have the devil do my bidding. It's not exactly like that. What happens is, more often than not, they say to you, I can do all these things for you. And when you need something, you are required to do what I want, what we ask you to do, whether it's a demon, Elon Musk, or whoever. Okay. Just joking. Right? Whoever it is. You get my point, though, right? So whoever it is, that darkness says, when it's time for you, and this is happening in Hollywood, too. I mean, everywhere you go, anybody who's made deals with the darkness, you're going to see them fold. You're going to see some rough shit happen and things of this nature, because this is how it works. And so as tough as our darkness can be at times, and we've all been all kinds of crazy stuff and have all these different things and stories and energies within us, especially at the highest levels of God or love. But this is the very reason we know that no matter how many satanic or dark witch figures or dark wizards or whatever the fuck comes in here, sadomasochistic people, whatever your shit is, in whatever form of darkness you are, right? That's the lion, the Christ lion energy in me and in all of us that are here to change the world, that say, fuck you, man. We lived in massive darkness many, many lifetimes, and we know what that space is like, and there's nothing you could ever bribe us with that is worth that. Do you see what I'm saying? That is worth, being on the side of darkness and that incredible pain and suffering that it comes with it. Because with the power of God and love, I have the power to negate all darkness. Ask God for everything I need from love. All right. And this is who we are. We came here to do incredible things. And then we have destinies that are golden light of destinies, each and every one of us. If you stay on the channel, you're definitely, and you're on our show consistently, or you resonate with us, you're definitely these people. And you've come here to change the world in however you want. And there are big battles of dark and light. And we'll be talking more about that in the future as we explore my oceanfront experiences for the summertime. you know it's coming, right? Lots of fun it's going to be, but I can assure you there's going to be some incredible things to talk about. Absolutely. Okay. So I hope I answered those questions. And so know that, Andrew, I would love to tell you, yeah, it's crazy that Joe Biden is running for president again, but that's why, because none of this is real. We live in a matrix controlled by darkness, and now the light is infiltrating the planet. It's past time. Okay. It's kind of like sending an SOS out on a ship to the galaxy of all that is God, that is love. It's time. It's time for these changes changes to happen. Okay. So they are definitely coming, and we are all part of these changes. So it's going to be interesting to see who does become president and what actually happens, or if that even happens, or if it's taken over, because at some point, this too will be crushed. Now, here's the deal. This can stay and go on for a while, because the states are also going to come out and do their own thing. Like, Florida has a possibility of a propensity to come out and be its own energy. Texas, right? There'll be other states, North Dakota. These are states that are, not unlike what I said. This is a gold-backed dollar, 1 troy ounce, right? And this is made by, let me see what it says here. I don't know if this is New Hampshire or what it is. But there's ones from New Hampshire, right? There's gold-backed dollars. This is literal gold that the states are making as their own currency, many of them. So it's more expensive than your traditional gold. But my feeling and theory is, from God and love, is that it is wise to have a little bit of everything. If you can have a lot of everything, great, in this particular department. However, these are ways that you can purchase this stuff, and it's like a $5 bill, a $10 bill, and a $20 bill. And there's a lot more to talk about this today, about these things. But so the states are gonna have their own dollars, and there's a propensity for them to be their own energies, their own places, and then you'll have people moving to the states, because the states then become their own countries, their own government, as dark and light divides. So this government could still possibly stay in business, but it will not be the government of the old, or the United States of the old. There will be a new United States breaking free. And part of the reason the forefathers of this country did that, the whole idea of the Constitution, is because they were absolutely genius. There is no doubt about it. Where they built it so that there were states, so that they could at least retain the country on some level, in some way, shape, or form. Within the states would govern themselves outside of the government, if the government was taken over and lost its fucking mind like it has now, right? So know this. There's all this. I think New Hampshire has them, Arizona might have them, but those gold-backed dollars are here. So there's going to be, currencies, and different cities are going to, different states are going to do their own thing. Ron DeSantis has done a lot of radical stuff. It's going to be interesting to see, because there's so many contradicting reports about what Ron DeSantis is up to these days. So that's going to be another interesting thing for these times, to see how that evolves with his new destiny. Donald Trump, same thing. It's going to be interesting to see what Donald Trump does, what Tucker Carlson does. These are all key figures. Vladimir Putin, what's he doing? Because if you remember, there's an old saying in the world, and don't think that Vladimir Putin does not know this. It is from the beginning of time, right? You keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Do you know what I'm saying? So think about this when you think about his alignment with China. Yeah. And the BRICS states that everybody's raving about, because they're like the elitist. Yeah. What the fuck ever. I don't go for that for 1 minute. Not a second. Let's see what happens. But don't think for a second, right? These guys are trying, all the people who are in with the BRIC shit, they're trying to save their own asses in their own countries in some way, shape, or form, because this has become a hot fucking mess. And don't think for a minute that they don't know the demon behind China, because they have some of that demon in themselves. Just like you ever, being a man or a woman, right? You ever meet somebody and you're with your partner and you go to a bar and when somebody has the hots for your partner, because you just fucking know, like all women know when another woman has the hots for their man, and vice versa, right? Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Make no mistake about it. These guys didn't become world leaders because they're stupid. Okay? They know what's going on, so they're playing the cards in this massive dark and light chess game as it is. Okay? This said, I'm going to talk about the gold and silver and how to prepare in a few minutes. I just want to make sure we got all the questions done. Rachel or Jen, do we have all the questions done?
Not yet.
How many more are there?
How many more, Ray?
I think just one.
We got one more? Mm-hmm. Now, is this from this week, last week?
This week.
Okay, did we do last week's?
Yeah, everybody that is here tonight
Up to date?
had questions last week. We got them.
Fantastic. Okay, so what's the last question for now, and then we'll talk about it if we have enough time. What time is it?
Yeah.
It's about 8:33.
Okay.
The last question is from Evelyn.
Hi, Evie.
Said, hey, and she'd like to know why she doesn't have any interest in books in general. And
Okay.
she also wants to clear out her freaking out over every little thing that triggers her.
Okay. Great job, Evie. Great job. Star. All right. Let's do this. Let's clear all this out, and then I'm going to explain it to you, okay, baby? Thank you, God, for taking all of this energy and all of us that Evelyn is speaking of here. Thank you for us connecting to it emotionally, connecting to it subconsciously, consciously, and all energy that it is. Let us connect to it, feel it, heal it, process it, balance it, and be free of it now, please, and in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is, with all of this that Evelyn is asking for now, please, and everything this has to do with, and putting this love in place of this, of the purest form of love, and the best way to be from that place, and abundance from that place as well, that is that. Thank you for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in place of everything that we're clearing now, please, and thank you, God, for that, for us and Evelyn. Okay. So that said, she was asking, can you repeat the question, Rachel? So I want to make sure
she
I'm going to pull it apart.
She wants to know why she does not have an interest in books.
Okay, because you're not supposed to have an interest in books right now. You're supposed to be a kid, Evelyn. You're supposed to run, and you're supposed to jump, and you're supposed to have a fun time, and your soul is not leading you in this direction. That's the problem, with us as people. It's like we're so conditioned to what society teaches us. My kid needs to be reading 5 books a day, and my kid needs to be reading, for Christ's sake in heaven. Your kid is going to pick up a book when its soul decides to pick it up, not when the mother tells them to. And when you force do shit, it really doesn't work in this world, and that is the truth. So we force our kids to go to school. We force our kids to learn things that they don't want to learn. And then we force everything, and we wonder why they rebel, because that's not how you do it from love, right? So Evelyn, when it is time, you will read books, as many books as you want, and as long as you want, and how much ever you want. Right now, it's not in the design, or it's not on the path of your soul in this moment. In this moment, you're meant to be a kid. You're a Libra rising. You have tons of Aries energy, and you're meant to do and be active and have fun. And that doesn't mean that you won't read a book. All right. It means you can read a book, but at this time, your soul is not calling this in for you. Right. And it behooves, like your mom and all of us, to get a clue that, like way back when I would force my kid to go to school, and she would have 2-hour tantrums of crying and screaming and hating school. And then she'd come out of school, and for 3 hours, she would sit in her room because she can't do normal school in this earth world environment because she's different. But we went through it and went through it and went through it till finally I was like, okay, this is enough of this shit, right? Because the society says your child has to go to school, and this is the right thing, and this is the way to do it, and this is regimen. Why would they do that? So they can conform you. The new world is really going to be about, what do you love to do? Let's guide that child and that soul from that space of what they love. Because then, right, and it doesn't mean we can't guide them to things that are important, absolutely, right? But there's a healthy balance of everything, and there is a season for everything when it is time. And your soul will call in everything that you need, whatever it is, at whatever time frame, for everything in your life, because that's how it works. So if your kid is never interested in science, and you beat the shit out of them emotionally, physically, whatever it takes, right? And I don't mean physically. I'm talking about, sure that could happen. However, nobody wants that to happen. What I'm saying is, you can't make your kid conform to something they don't love to do. You create massive resentment, massive upsetness. It's like when a husband and wife are a team, and they're trying to make it, and then the husband says, you need to go out and work 3 jobs, 3 jobs to help us make ends meet. And the wife is going to be resentful and shitty. There's a better way to do that. Let's talk about this. Let's change this. How can we incorporate the things that we need, the things that I want to do, the things that you love to do, to make this work from love? But if the truth is, if your kid never wants to do science, it's not meant to do that journey. Doesn't matter how many fucking times you try to drill that into that kid's head. It's just not going to get into that space where it's going to be copacetic or in the flow of love, because it's not in the grand design of their souls. This is where the new world is going. You must do what you love. So Evelyn, it's okay, right, to not be into books right now. Okay? It is okay. All right? There will be, however, books on subjects that you might be interested in that will help you to want to read and love to read, right? Like when I was in 5th grade, I read like 100 books. I read all the books in my class, right? But I didn't want to read science. I didn't want to read math. I didn't want to write shit and do all the requirements of that stuff. You know what I wanted to read about was animals. I read 98 books on animals, the most in the class, and I got a reward in my 5th grade. In my 5th grade, yep. I read more books than anyone else in the class. As long as I was reading what I loved, a subject matter that I loved, I'd read more than anybody else. So this is tools for you, Evelyn. You can love to read, even though your soul is in this space right now. You can still pick up a book on a subject that you might like, right? Yeah. So many things. You may find that you might like to read books about dinosaurs. Okay. You might like to read books about animals. You might like to read books about history. You know, you might like to read books about science too. Whatever you feel in your heart. But this is a way for you to find the books that you can read that are best for you and work with this without feeling like you're being pushed and forced into it. So this is truly where the new world is going. But these are some ways, Evelyn, that you can enjoy books now while your soul is not really calling it in the way that, let's say, other people in the world wants our belief systems to be in alignment with society's idea of we have to read books, right? We don't. We don't. There's tons of ways to learn, and you ask God for the best ways. And if you want to read and you want to be more into books, you ask God that you are, and then you will find all the subject matters and all the things that you love and you'll love reading. And you ask God to clear the blocks that stop that from happening, and you can do anything from love, and you will be reading books. These are all tools to help and assist you and have you understand what's truly going on here with you and the books and your soul. Okay. All right. Would you have another part of this question?
No, you got it all.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Evelyn, for asking. Keep going, girl. Keep asking. All right. Because there are no stupid questions. That's how we learn. Ask. Ask and you shall receive. Okay. All right. That said, I think, are we ready to talk about the money stuff?
Yes. It was 8:40.
All right, so I know we only have a few minutes, but I just wanted to quick throw this out here. We talked about these gold-backed monies that the states are getting. It's wise to have them. There's a lot of learning, though. This is a $5 bill, a $1 bill, and a $10 bill. You guys can look all these up. They're literally made out of gold, right? But remember, they are like 1/100th of a troy ounce, 1/200th of a troy ounce, and 1/10,000th of a troy ounce, right? They are worth different things in different ways. So this would be like a $1 bill, this would be like a $5 bill, just like it says, and this would be like a $10 bill. But here's the thing that, a lot of people don't know is that it is worth far more than that. 1/10,000th of a troy ounce, right, is worth actually almost like $5 or $6, okay, in gold. So this is actually worth $5 or $6 as opposed to the $1 that you would think you would exchange in the bodega or at the store. Right? And then this is worth 1/200th of a troy ounce. So this is $5. So this is probably worth more like 10, maybe more than that, a couple dollars more than that. And then this one in gold I'm talking about. So we are talking about different kinds of value, all right, on different types of gold and silver. And this is really important for everybody to know, because you don't want to give somebody a $10 gold piece that's really, let's say, worth 20 or 30, a $10 one of these rather, that's really worth, let's say, $30 or $40, right, in gold, thinking that it's just a $10 bill. Because then you're going to be losing money. So, but you get to pick and choose by your wisdom and your intellect about how this works, okay? All right? What you want to do with it when the time comes as you make your trades. Because even though right now, this might be $40, this $10 bill, right? When the CBD things come in and the economy tanks, everything's going to be worth far different at different times than you would think. This one $10 or 1/200th or 100th ounce of gold might be worth $10,000. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of $10. Crazy shit, right? So this is why you want to be in tune with God all the time, and you want to educate yourself with this stuff. I am not a financial person. I'm just showing you and sharing with you what I learned from God. I asked God to be a financial expert for me. Everything I need to know about the stock market, life insurance policies, whatever I needed all throughout my life, I asked God that I become a master at it. And that's why I know about this. I am not your financial advisor, all right? I must disclose that, just like I'm not telling you to do anything here on the channel, so to speak. You pick and choose what you want to do with your life. I'm here to teach the truth of love and God so that you have all the tools that you need in this reality, as well as whatever's going on out here. They're really beautiful too. They're really cool shit, right? And then you keep them in an envelope in a safe place. And I wouldn't suggest that you keep everything inside your home under your mattress. Ask God where to do that. You could bury it somewhere. You could put it somewhere. Don't put it in the banks, and don't give it to a friend that you know that you cannot trust, especially. All right, especially in these times. Oh boy, it's wild. And remember, when it comes to money, there's 1,000,001 different places to hide your shit. Ask God where the best place is, okay? So those little dollars, you can spend $5 for one of those, and you want to diversify so you have everything you need. So if tomorrow, because people say to me, oh, I have a 1 ounce gold coin, right? I think I got almost one of those right here. This is a 1 ounce silver coin. This is what that would look like, right? It would be like $2,000, and people say, well, what do? I shave piece of this off, and that's how I exchange? No. A 1 troy ounce is this size. This happens to be a silver one, and this one happens to be a little ornament. Do you see the little piece on the top? But it is still worth the value of the silver, the value that it is as a collector's item, and or there's something called numismatic value. All right, so there's the actual value of the actual silver. Let's say maybe it's $30 for an ounce of silver, right? But in time, this too shall rise. But if it's a numismatic or it's a collector's item, I paid maybe $130 or $150 for this. It's Santa and his reindeer, and then I gave them, let's say, to my family for Christmas, right? But it still has the value of silver. Silver is not as expensive as gold, right? But in time, this can go up as well, and the prices of these things will fluctuate. And you got to be in tune with God and all that is love, to know what's going on in the world, and ask and you shall receive, to know the value of all of these things. But this is what I'm talking about, so you guys can do your research on these things. So this is 1 ounce of silver, okay? This is a little ornament. You could buy it like that. Okay, but the reason you have the smaller pieces like these little gold dollars, right, is because you can buy lesser things. You're not going to give a $2,000 piece of gold for like $100 worth of groceries, right? If you needed to, you're going to instead pick a $100 1 ounce. What is this? $100 1 gram. I think this is one fine gold gram. You're going to pick one of these, and you buy this on the market too. Now you can buy these out there, but you want to have and work with legitimate dealers, legitimate coin shops, right? And that are the truth, right? So that you know that this is authentic gold, okay? And there are places. I know Walmart works with Amex, and you can order them there. But this also, because it's it's close to $2,000 for a gold 1 ounce coin, right? It's $100 for this. So when people tell me, oh, I can't afford $2,000, right? But you could get 10 of these, and over time, what do you have? You have 10 grams of gold. That's closer and closer, right? What is it? I think it's 30 grams that makes one of these. So over time, if you bought 2 of these a month for $200, you're going to, before you know it, have this. And the cool thing about the smaller pieces, while you pay more for them because they're smaller, they call it fractional gold, and fractional silver, while you pay more for them, there's a lot more you can do with them, right? You want to have gold and silver as your wealth storage in the bigger coins or blocks or whatever it works for your budget, right? Because they have 10 ounce blocks, they have 5 ounce blocks, they have 100 ounce blocks, right, of gold and silver, right? But you want to find reputable dealers. I know Amex is one, EST Bullion is another. Amex works with Walmart too, so you can go to these places. But you can also, if you don't have $100, because people go, I don't have that money. Like I said, this is I think this one is half of a gram. And this one is a whole gram, okay? And I like to keep them in the containers, like this is money metals, okay? Some places have it for more than others. Some places have it for less. The price is always going to fluctuate with the price of gold, as Eckhart Tolle would say, in the now, okay? So... all right, so you can, this would be like $100, this would be $50, but you can see the size differences. But this helps people be able to invest in these things, right? And then like here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grams of silver, right? You could break off these little pieces. This is a little bar. So this allows people to buy these things. I know they sell these things on Etsy too. All right, you can search around, shop around, but you want to have someone who's legit. You can buy, I think I might have another little thing that I might have bought with me today, because they don't have to come. Thanks God for me pulling this stuff out. I don't know. Oh, that's my battery pack. Here I am thinking it's something important. All right. And maybe I can't find it, but let me see what's in here, because I wanted to show you something else that's in alignment. Okay. So here's a traditional silver coin, right? This one's a little shady. I had a coin dealer give this to me because I did so much business with him. Not that it's worth all that much. It was at the time might have been between $30 and $50. It's an angel. It's a guardian angel coin. It's a little rusty, but it is sterling silver. Okay, so I'm showing you guys these things, and I always keep my receipts in my shit. Why? Because it's wise. Because then you can prove, if you have to. There's other ways to prove that it's real, but then you can prove it where you got it. You can also have it mailed to your house, and here's the cool thing that a lot of people don't know, is this stuff comes to you, right, in... this package is a little beat on, but it comes to you in packages like this, so nobody knows what it is, okay? Which is really cool. Packages like that, or other packages where you don't know what they're getting. People don't know what they're getting. But there was something else I wanted to show you. Here it is. I think this might be it. See, another package like this, it comes in. But people don't talk about this stuff on most of the time in the real world, because this is how this shit works, And I thought I was feeling from God, because I had a couple people ask me, about this. And I've done classes on this, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past. So this is another thing. This is a Valcombe Swiss, and they come from all over the country. All the government mints all over the world make different ones. So, Canadian mints, right? This is 100 grams of silver. Just like this piece, it would break off of this. Do you see? Helps to see stuff like this and understand how to do this. It's not so intimidating now, right? And it comes in and it says it right here. It's a combi bar, and it's 100, pieces of 1 gram of silver, and you could break those off for trade, okay? And then you can have a cool little box, like we got Jennifer this lovely little astrology box, right? So, this way it gives everybody a better understanding that they can afford this stuff. They should, for sure, go out and start investing in this along with your food and anything of any value. Think about vitamins, think about minerals, think about medical supplies, and, things that you need every day, toothbrushes, things like that, to help you, and food, gold and silver in these times especially. These are just wise things to always have. But you can also buy from your local coin dealers as well. You want to, feel out the energy, ask God always what the best one is. Ask God for the best company for you. Different ones have different deals sometimes. I'm not really into deals. Great if I get a free gold back dollar, sometimes they'll do stuff like that, which is nice. But I'm more into authenticity and being guided by highest knowing of love to buy and purchase the things that I do, because that's your wisest choice. Whenever you want to get something with some kind of a deal, remember, there's always that deal energy in it, all right? And a deal is getting something for nothing, and there is no such thing in Saturn's Earth world as getting something for nothing. Nothing is for free, and you must do the work for it. So when you're getting a deal, it might not really be real silver. It might just be silver plated. But any kind of silver, not just this stuff. You could have your grandma's antique silver bowls that is worth a shit fucking ton of money, but you just don't realize it. But there's a lot of plated silver. There's a lot of real authentic silver. It's the same thing with gold jewelry, same thing. And the cool thing about gold jewelry, right? And I'm not talking necessarily the 14 karat gold coin kind. I'm talking about the 0.99999 troy ounce kind, right? Where that that's a heavy, true, authentic, through and through gold, right? Because back in the day, people would invest in it in jewelry because they wouldn't, if you went from one country to another, you'd have to claim your gold coins, but your jewelry, you could get away with whatever you were wearing. You didn't have to claim that because they didn't consider that monetary, even though it really is. So these are some things to look up and explore and learn about and understand in your journey with all of this as you guys go and get gold and silver, and how it's going to work with this stuff into the future. And I just wanted to share these things with you tonight. I hope this helps everybody get a better understanding for all this that is coming, and to help you protect yourself. And if you have any questions for me, please, or on the show, please. And if you need me to bring these back and show you again, by all means, we will. And thank you, guys. I think we're pretty much over for tonight. Does anyone have any last questions for tonight?
No, we're good. Saying thank you.
Okay. And thank you, everybody, because, you'll see a lot of people who do financial channels and they'll talk about getting this and stacking and all this stuff, but nobody really talks about fractional gold. Nobody talks about the gold backed dollars, and what you want to do is you really want to invest in gold, all different kinds of gold, definitely. But the most important ones is the one that is the authentic value of the actual gold. So an ounce of gold is an ounce of gold because it will be worth $2,000, right? A numismatic gold, which is gold that is some kind of value throughout history, like an antique kind of gold, where what happens is you pay far more for that, but you don't get the same value. So it depends on what you value, because the 2 ounces of gold over here, you can spend a lot of money and you could have a 15 ounces over here, right? And you think it's the same thing, all right, or the same amount, but this coin may be worth $5,000 in numismatic value, but it's only going to be worth $2,000 in actual gold. Just like these things that I was talking about before, you got to know your shit, because otherwise people will steal from you. Based in not with what's coming in is like Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Remember what he used to say? That the guy who did that, what was his name?
P.T. Barnum? P.T.
Barnum, I think it was. Yeah. He used to say, there's a sucker born every minute. So if you don't arm yourself, yeah, that's what he used to say. And so, knowledge is a super huge gift. What is that saying we said? I think Dee said it last week. Knowledge is forewarned.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, but it was like foreknowing is forewarned. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. There's a saying that goes with this, because if you educate yourself, your education is all your power in this field, because then people can't rip you off because you don't know that this is worth this, that this is only worth this and that's worth that, or you don't know all the values of it to protect yourself. And this is important shit to know. And it's also important to know how it comes in packages in the mail and how these things work and what to do with it. And if you have any questions, you can always PM me, and I will share definitely my wisdom here, and ways that you could say to me for the future too, if you wanted to ask questions about this stuff, online, you can say, I have 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this. You don't have to tell them, but put them on your sheet, and I'll tell you which number is the best place for you to hide it, or the best one that you should get. Do you see what I'm saying? Without having to reveal these things right online live, where you're going to put your gold or your silver or whatever you do. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's so funny when you showed my box. I was like,
yeah. Jennifer's having box anxiety now. Like if you came into our house, you'd be looking for this box. Right? So she's going to have to find a new spot. Or a new box, right? It's a cool box. It's her astrology box. All right. So thank you, everybody, for coming. Many blessings. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week at 7:15 on Wednesday night. All right. Much love. Thanks, everybody. Good night.